Hi and welcome back to Quinwapa Creations tutorial videos. Today I'm going to show how to make a card holder. I use a turtle beaded cab that I make myself. Size 0 9mm beading thread, size 11 seed beads, and size 11 John James beading needles. The measurements of the card holder are like 3 inches by 4. That's the size of the square that I drew with some rounded corners. Go in about 1/4 of an inch, and that's my beading area. Fold that in half and find the middle point. Measure down 1 inch to make my B shape on there, and attached my beading caps and did a design to match the colors of the turtle. Trim off the excess edge around the beadwork. And you're going to do the edging all the way around, attaching both pieces together. But before we do that, we're going to put on a liner using some cotton fabric. I'm going to cut the fabric just about 1/4 of an inch larger than the beadwork. And then we're going to snip the corners, making some tabs that will make it easier to fold in when we're sewing it together. And just gonna put some Elmer's glue on the back. This is just gonna stabilize it while we're sewing it together. And then once we get the liner on, we're going to start folding it, the edges over. Make sure that it's even with the beadwork all the way around. Just kind of getting it to fit the same size as the beadwork. And those corner tabs make it easier to make it a rounded corner with the fabric. So you're just gonna fold everything in so it fits the back of the beadwork. And on the V-cut side, you make the point you're going to fold it under, snip off the point of that so that you pull that over on the other side. And snip off that point. And it lays flat. makes that way smoother. I'm just going to continue to go all the way around, and then to hold it in place, we're going to just do a running basting stitch, attaching the liner to the beadwork all the way around. Makes it easier to do the edging, to have it all attached, basted together, rather than having to worry about it when you're doing the edging. So you just baste it all the way around. And the corners and the points, need to be sure you're getting them secure and laying flat and smooth. And the tabs make it easier to make those rounded corners. Now we'll just secure that liner in place, so we don't have to worry about it when we're doing the edging with the beads. And once you have it basted all the way around, then we can start the edging. We'll start the edging in the B point. I find it easier for me to start in the center and work out. The beads are, then I make sure I have the beads lying together and looks much nicer. So I just work from there, and we're going to put enough beads to lap over that basting stitch and get as close as we can to the beadwork. You just have to see how many beads fit across. I fit 5. 5 beads for the front side. Making sure I am mindful of where my needle is, covering that basting stitch, and getting close to the beads in the front as I can. And I work at the end of the point on one side, and then I tie it up and start at the point again, working out towards the other side. Making sure that I'm covering that basting stitch with my edging and getting as close as I can to the beadwork. Just mindful of where the needle is.
Oh, there he is.
And once I get to the point on the second side, is when I start attaching the back to the front. Right at the point is where you'll put the beads around, and you'll go through all layers of both front and back. is right at the point. And then you'll just work all the way around, edging the whole piece with the overlap whip stitch edging. You may have to adjust how many beads you use by one, depending on the size of beads that you have, the width of your beads. This needs to fit around the edge from the beadwork to the beadwork. And then once I get to the other side, I'm going to make sure that it's fitting nice and snug, and we're getting right to the end, to the point again on the other side. And when I go through and get that last stitch in there, I'm going to come up where I'm going to start the edging on the back side, the top of back side. That is much thinner, so you may need to adjust the number of beads you use. I decreased it to 4. And 4 beads will fit right over that basting stitch and to the beads. Just be mindful of where the needle is. Getting it over that basting stitch so you can't see it. Get close to the beadwork as you can. Make sure your needle comes up over that basting stitch to cover it up. And then you just continue all the way, being sure that you're covering it up well. And you get to the end, making sure that your beads are laying flat, snug, and meet at that point, and you are finished with the card holder. Tie a double knot, making sure that it fits snug in there. And snip it off, and you are finished with the card holder. Fits 3 to 4 cards, slide in and out easily. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can email me if you have any questions. Stop by and join our group on Facebook, Quinwell Creations Corner, or visit our website, www.quinwellcreations.com.